can be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me. And I can hold it much longer.
What did you say?
Gonna let go so I can be free. Yeah, yeah.
I feel so left out on Fraser Friday. Kratz and Todd just having the time of their lives, and they've got a really cool card wall. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you, brother? Haven't seen you in a while.
I know, it's been a minute. I got to come back up. Is it warm yet?
It's getting there. What do you say? It's upper 50s, low 60s. It's getting there. No, I mean,
Not yet.
It's supposed to be 66 today. Yeah. Back at my house, it's supposed to be 72, so it's perfect. It's like Cali.
I need a 7. Once it's a consistent 7.
Sunday's the 70s.
I need a consistent 7, and then I'll go up there for an extended period of time. No Pierzynski either. He's winning celebrity golf matches right now. Anyone know how he's doing, by the way?
No, we got to get an update on that for sure.
We'll text him during the show and find out. We got Ryan Helsley, all-star closer of the St. Louis Cardinals, joining us. Marc Carig from The Athletic, who absolutely roasts the Oakland A's like no one else. And he's just really good with real talk. Covered the Mets. Were you there when he was covering the Mets?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. There was a lot of reporters there, so you know how it is in there. So I'm sure I've seen him before. I've seen him around, but I don't remember fully. It was the Yankees and the Mets.
Is that why he's on today, Scotty? Because he roasts the Mets he roasts the A's.
He did roast the Mets back when it was the Wilpon Mets. There's less to roast nowadays.
But you have him on because he roasts the A's? Like, you love to roast the A's? Like, are you guys angel roasters at the same time, too?
No, the A's are really the topic of the week as far as ball clubs are concerned. How often do teams switch cities?
Not often.
Last one.
Yeah.
This might be the last one, exactly. So it's big news. We'll get to it with him and a few other topics, too. And Mike Moustakas, your boy, Kratzy, in the bigs.
Both are boys.
Yeah, that's his.
That's your boy,
play
too?
with him more often, but
I had the thrill of Team USA, which we'll get into. He is a thing of beauty. People don't know him too well. He is something else. He's a great dude. So can't wait for that interview.
Sometimes he's shy to the media. Can you guys get him to open up and show us the real Mike Moustakas?
I don't know. Like, I was the whole, like, Adley Rutschman thing. Like, I felt like there was, like, a catcher connection. And, like, any question I asked him about baseball, I was like, eh. And then everything about personal life, he was like, boom, I love talking about football and all that stuff. So we'll try to hit it with news.
We'll hit him.
Tacos.
Please do. But right now, we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That means, here it is. Todd, Father, this is all you, man. I want you to present the problem and the solution, if you can, for us.
Well, you know, I always have a solution for one. So for me, the problem is MLB umpires, we're making a spectacle out of all this rosin thing going on. I haven't been on the show in a couple of days, so we need to figure this out. We need to focus on making baseball better, not getting a little crazy with all this feeling the hand. You see some umpires, they touch the hand. Other umpires, they're thorough with it. Figure this out. The boys just want to play. You know what I mean, Kratzy? The boys just want to play. Figure it out. The solution is either let them use the rosin or not. There's got to be something. We've been using rosin, or players been using rosin over the years for a long time now. Let them use it. You tell them to go wash their hands. You have an LMB person telling them what to do and saying it's okay. Now, guess what? He goes out there and now it's not okay. So where's the disconnect here? Figure it out. If not, come on over. We'll have, a few glasses of vino. We'll figure it out at the crib here. Maybe take a couple batting practice shots. We got to do it. Phil Cuzzy's my guy, New Jersey guy. Let's go. That's 3 times, boss. I love you, Phil, but Jesus, come on, man. We'll talk, have a little vino. Let's go.
Kratzy, 10-game suspension. So here's the deal with Scherzer. Suspended 10 games for sticky stuff violation, too much rosin, too much, I guess, alcohol that caused the sticky stuff, which it sounds like the league wanted him to put on his hands to clean it. And some people are like, see, he took it. He's a cheater. Well, here's the problem, and Max emphasized this when he spoke to the media after they announced that he's taken the suspension. The only person that decides if Max is guilty or not, or really just if Max can appeal the suspension and get games knocked off, is an MLB official. Like someone who works for the league, whose primary interest and goals are to protect the league and to do whatever the commissioner's office says for him to do. So, I mean, let's be honest, that's not a real trial at all. I don't know who made that up. That's my problem. Who decided that we're going to have an arbitration panel or we're going to appeal something with someone who is completely tied to one side? It makes no sense. It would be like two tech giants going against each other in a court case, and all of the lawyers from one of the tech giants are the judge, the jury, and the whole deal. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all, and Max didn't know that initially, or at least he said. So once he found out that he had a 0% chance of his case being anything but a 10-game suspension, he said, am I going to wait? Am I going to fight a fight that will not result in a dub and then miss time that is more important for the Mets? As in, he is now eligible to return on May 1st. That is the last game of a series against the Atlanta Braves. Divisional games matter more. So he's just going to wear it, eat it, and do what the Mets say, because they do pay him a lot, and the Mets want him to be back for that series. They're like, they know. I mean, the Mets, it's the ownership group all the way down. They know that the league already called and said, you have no chance. So just take it, wear it, and let's move on.
I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm glad I'm here in Jersey because Todd made the declaration to Phil. Like,
I got you.
We're together here, so there's. I feel safe. What I need is I need more clarity on so much of this. Like you said, Scott, like where does this come from? Why are we so it's so one-sided? I mean, we talked about the rules. Like Whit Merrifield's on the rule committee, and he goes, oh yeah, well, it's a 6-4 vote anyway. It's like, hey, we want to give you guys a say in this, but you actually aren't going to have a say, so it doesn't matter. Like that's not how we grow the game. That's how we get to this stale point. When you have issues like this, like maybe he still gets his suspension, but through an arbitrator, we can talk about stuff like, hey, the rosin you're putting out there will get sticky when X amount of moisture gets put on. No, they're like, hey, we're going to have somebody in the league make these bags of rosin, and everybody needs to use them. Oh, by the way, if you get caught, you're suspended with our rosin. Like, I hope I'm not ignorant in believing the fact that Max is only using rosin, but I just don't understand why he wouldn't use rosin. And I looked up the spin rate stuff yesterday after we had our show. I wish I had done it before the show. His spin rate was like, it was like minus 20 down from his norm on 2 different pitches, and it was up 62 RPMs, which is nothing. So he was not using anything that hasn't been checked before. He had the same stickiness, he had the same spin, which is the only reason they started the whole stickiness, was so that we got rid of this illegal spin so guys weren't throwing wiffle balls up there.
Do you think Max was targeted? I mean,
I do.
Yeah?
That's why I asked Scott. I asked Scott that. I said that yesterday, and Scott Boris, when he was on yesterday, and he had very lawyer speak about it. Like, you can't defame somebody. You can't be like, oh, and I wasn't saying Phil Cuzzy was the one that was targeting him. I just felt like it was something that he said, what he said on our show Monday. And then 2 days later, it happens. And I'm not saying FT Live is, the epicenter of baseball talk right now, but people hear stuff. And it's just such a coincidence. And I feel like a lot of coincidences are not coincidences. They're real life. And we have to look at this stuff. And I just feel like there just needs to be answers from their side. And I don't feel like we have any yet. Hopefully we're going to get my guy on and we can talk about it from the league side of it too.
Yeah, we haven't heard almost anything aside from that basic press release from the league. So Very interesting. A lot of things were pointed out too, and our stuff's popping on TikTok right now. Some heated takes, including AJ from yesterday. But did you guys catch when Cuzzy took Scherzer's glove and gave it back to him and gave it like a good shove in the chest? You imagine?
He smiled. They were smiling in the third inning. Hey man, give it back to me. Get a new one. They're happy-go-lucky. And then what? Something switched. There was a smile. It was a goofy moment. And then next thing you know, the fourth inning comes around and boom, hit the shower. I'm going to give Phil Cuzzy a text here in a little bit. I'm going to see if we can get him on the show. That'd be pretty cool if we get Phil on the show. So he can go over. I think that would bode well for everybody. So everybody can understand. Fans, MLB players. Phil, I'm going to text you later, big dog. So get ready.
Top father, I wish, but I'm a betting man. Okay? I'm a betting man. It ain't happening. He is not getting on the show. He might want to and explain himself, but I can't see it happening. It should happen because if we have a human element in this game, then the human should be able to speak. Otherwise, it can just be a machine.
Yeah, exactly.
And why not? Why can't we have it all? Why does MLB feel like one of their people can't talk about it? It doesn't have to be on FT Live. It should be because we're going to be real. But why can't it be? Why can't it be an umpire? Why do certain people have a gag order and then we have to have the media in the locker room for players? Why?
They don't want to make anybody look bad, especially MLB. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's part of
that's part of life. That's the human element we talk about. People talk about, we need computers for umpires. We need, more electronic stuff. Well, the human element I love and enjoy. How about letting them come on and speak? You know what? Oh, okay. Well, if he comes on and gives a good explanation, you know what? Phil, you know what? I'm sorry. I would apologize to the guy if everything was said right and done. This is the protocol. This is what we were taught. This is the problem that we had with it. And we felt, blah, blah, blah. Whatever he says, you're like, hey, Phil, you know what? My bad. But right now, it's just not a good look.
That's how we connect as a society. We have superstar baseball players who are, you are an all-star. You got voted in as an all-star. You're still a real person. Your kids cry at night. They wake you up in the middle of the night. I think we connect more with people, especially superstars, and especially events that we go to when you actually get the true connection and not
both sides.
Get both sides. Like it's okay if somebody says, "Hey man, my bad. I was wrong. I was wrong on that," and you're like, "Okay, that's fair." Especially think about an umpire interaction with an umpire. Oh man, come on, Phil, I had that away.
Yep, of course.
He's like, hey, Todd, man, I think I missed that.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you have a better connection.
Yep.
And you forget the fact that he stunk that day as an umpire.
Yeah.
But you have that connection, and I think that's where, just in society, we need to have more, because we're in a society of putting makeup on for Instagram, deleting the pictures that don't look good. I want to come up with a new app where it's called Real Life.
Accountability.
Real Life. They're trying to be real, and everybody sets up their Be Real camera, for a fake shot. I'm talking about Be Real. Dang, I got a little bit of butt cheek in that picture because I was taking a picture when I was on the crabber.
Yeah. I would love to see, and I'll finish with this, Scott. I would love to see, how Scherzer got, everybody came to him. Hey, blah, 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 let me get it. Yeah, go after him. How about we get the umpire, too? We put mics in his face and be like, hey, what'd you see that we're not seeing? So everybody can understand. So we get both sides of the story, and then you can go to an arbitrator and be like, hey, well, he said this is that's human. That's life. Mistakes happen. Blah, blah, blah. So that one person can actually be helped instead of being made look a mockery of as it seems right now. So
no, I'm with you. I think you guys remember the old Coke and Pepsi test, and a lot of people would flunk it. So I would want to do the sticky versus sticky or tacky versus tacky test, which Scott Boras brought up. You pull all the umps, right? And they all have to all these men have to put their hands on other men's hands like they do all day and say if it's tacky or tacky. And I guarantee you the results would be all over the damn place. Mm-hmm. So there's a human element. Let's talk about it. I want to know Phil's level of tacky because other people have different tacky levels.
That'll be put in next year. You see, next year in spring in the off season, they're going to go, hey, listen, we figured something out. We know what the feeling is.
We figured it out.
Oh, man.
Hey, no more mud from New Jersey either.
I
Like,
know.
hey, that could be a problem.
That's a big problem because I know those guys too, and
Yeah.
they're not very happy. So there's another problem that we're going to have to talk to MLB about. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, C.J. Wilson, former pitcher, Rangers, Angels, he said, FYI, when you apply rubbing alcohol to a warm hand with rosin on it, it only dries out the water and makes the hand stickier.
Yeah.
This was an own goal
Yeah.
from the umpiring crew. Good little soccer term. The alcohol allows the sweat and water to evaporate, leaving behind a stickier substance, like spilling a soda.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Wilson, by the way. So
Yeah.
clearly he has a chemist degree. So no, it does. It 100% does. It dries it out.
When I used rosin every once in a while at third base, I hated the feeling because it was that stickiness that just wouldn't go away. It's weird. And I would scrub with soap. I didn't know what to do. It just never went away. And eventually, the more you scrub it, the more it comes off. But I didn't like that. You have guys in the outfield that would spray their gloves so they can catch the ball, get a little more stat, and they throw it in. I'm like, Jesus, here we go. But
No,
you know what I mean?
yeah, but what I would do was I would put sunscreen on because of my fair skin.
Yeah.
Pregame, and then I would go. I would sweat like crazy, and I would put rosin on my forearm.
Yep.
Well, that sunscreen and rosin, it would turn my hair. It would just clump up in my hair.
Harden too.
Harden it. But post game, all you do is you go in, you get the alcohol, anti-adhesive
Shaving
spray.
cream too sometimes. No, doesn't that help?
No, I wouldn't shave my arms. I wasn't one of those guys. I wasn't a shave my arms kind of guy. I was my natural man. But I would get the alcohol and just wipe it off and
does wonders.
good to go.
Alcohol does a lot of wonders.
One more thing on this that was circulating and recirculating, and I know some people aren't a big fan of him, but forget about the person for a moment. He did make some cool YouTube videos. Trevor Bauer did a demo where he showed how he could just combine sweat and rosin, and the baseball was hanging here without the bottom hand like I'm doing, because I don't have the whole demo like he does right now. It would hang here for a few seconds to show just how damn sticky it could get just with those two substances.
Yep, and that's no doubt. You're 100% right, and I think there's so much to that we need to stop the whole on-field charade thing. To me, the thing should be have somebody monitoring every single pitch. Oh, boop, red flag. All of a sudden, now we have 250 plus RPMs from a pitch he's never thrown before. Hey. Go and check him. I think he's got something sticky. Then they check, nothing sticky. Hey, he's just feeling good today. Maybe he got some extra poles in the other day. Maybe he, whatever it is, we have so much information. It's so, I don't know. It just seems so archaic to be like, tacky. I don't know.
Crazy.
All right. Well, I'd love to hear anyone else comment-wise if you have questions on it. Obviously, we're pissed because just nothing's been decided. Plus, I just genuinely think Max Scherzer was suspended for nothing just now. Anyway, happier thoughts, happier times. We have one of the game's greatest athletes casually fighting through traffic to get back from paternity leave and then just drop into play shortstop. Mookie Betts now playing a little short for the Dodgers. And there's a background story to this, too, that leads him up to this point. He was not supposed to crack that position in any way this year. There's supposed to be some more second base time, okay. But Gavin Lux goes down, torn ACL. Miguel Rojas not hitting. Chris Taylor's dealt with some injuries and not hitting well right now. And so they're like, all right, Mookie can basically do anything. Let's throw him in there. His first attempt, just going to run past second, hit the bag, jump throw to first, and make a little double play action and show everybody that maybe I should have been playing this position all along.
Yeah, no doubt.
Look at this. This picture this captures it. Mookie Betts, welcome to shortstop. I mean, look at this play. And his boy Belly is the first force out there at second.
I mean, that's an absolute, your first game at shortstop in the show, and you make a picture? Like I mean, that's a poster right there. That's if it wasn't in the Dodger away uniforms, that would be my new Instagram picture if I ever got to play a minute at shortstop. Like but that's so Mookie Betts of him. Like to come out and do something like that because he just feels like everything he touches is just awesome. Like, oh, what's this new game? Croquet? Yeah, I'll play that.
Bowling, okay, dunking a basketball, running routes in football. It's just straight athlete, dude.
Yeah, like, hey, congratulations, whoever drafted him. Like, that was a real reach. Like, you watch this guy walk, and you're like, yeah, that guy can do it.
Yep.
Like, whatever it is, he can do it.
Yeah. Well, some said he was undersized, and
Oh my
those
gosh.
people are probably not in the game anymore.
That's such a baseball thing to say. Like,
Yeah.
the whole, Jesus didn't walk on water fast enough, that kind of thing. Like, baseball is always going to, Mike Trout, I don't know if he's the best player. He doesn't have a great arm. Like, unbelievable. Just uncle. Stop being a haterade.
Hey, Betts only made it 5 minutes before first pitch, and it wasn't Barry Bonds style where he just shows up. He actually welcomed his second kid, so he was hustling back through some traffic and said afterward, a lot of fun, dream come true. Got drafted as a shortstop, hadn't seen it since like 2011. A lot of fun to be out there. Happy we won. So, yeah, I mean, he's a stud. He can play anywhere. Props to Mookie. We have Ryan Helsley joining us pretty soon. I definitely want to get this story in there. Liam Hendricks, cancer remission. He's kicked it.
No doubt.
Good shit, Liam.
Attaboy,
Go
mate.
get it. This guy's a freaking hustler, and you know that he tackled cancer just like he tackles anything in life. He beat its ass. So congratulations to Liam. And he's probably pleading with the White Sox to pitch this weekend. But you deserve a little breath or two before you get back on the mound, Mr. Hendricks. What a dude. Just a great personality in the sport, in addition to what he brings on the mound for the White Sox, and an inspiration now off the field because he's been documenting what he's going through. It's a young guy going through a very trying time in his life. And Kratzy, I know you've been texting with him. You can't get a better attitude about the whole situation either. Like there's just no negativity. It's just, here I come, can't wait to get back. Super appreciative for all of the thoughts and everybody reaching out.
Yeah, and he's been very like, he's just from the beginning. He was about attacking it, but then he was also like, I'm so lucky that it's not as serious as a lot of people have, because he's going in to get all his treatments, and he sees other people that are getting treatments, and it's it's a grind for them. So he's the mate is special. We got traded together to the Royals in 2014, and even then we went from AAA to, I went to Toronto and he went to Omaha, and he had a great attitude about that. Like, the guy's, he's a peach, and I'm so happy for him.
Liam, we'll have you on the show soon. Looking forward to it. Very much so. Also, a little props to Frazier's boy, Pete Alonso. 9 homers. Leads the bigs, by the way. Somebody said he's going to lead the bigs in homers this year. I don't know. Someone's got some money on it. Right here, baby. Okay. Well, not yet. I don't want to do it yet. So
I mean, you just did.
I know. But
I
it's,
know.
yeah, right. I don't need to reach too far back. If we get like 3/4 through the season and he's 10 homers up on everyone, then I'm going all the way back. But right now, it's just a little.
You're feeling humble today because you got a hat on. You're feeling like this is your humble day. Like, when your hair's out, then you're like, look at me now. Look at me now.
Hey, I'm just all about the hat's comfy and it's available now. FoulTellerTouristShop.com, baby. Got to show it off.
Fresh gear on tap. Let's get it.
Love that.
Yeah. Pistol Pete looks good, though.
No doubt. He's swinging the ball well. He'll go through these ruts where he's like 0 for 8, blah, blah, blah. And then, boom, 1 homer gets him going. He's got a really good swing. And then he takes his singles. I think that's the best part of him. He's going to take his singles and doubles. And I think he got 2 RBIs on a single up the middle last night. So don't try and do too much with runners on, but when they're not, you see what he does. He's trying to go big fly. He's very impressive this year so far. Hopefully he keeps that going for the Metropolitans.
Poor guy, Kratzy, sometimes goes through a little 0 for 8 slump.
Never been there. Hey, you talk about slumps? 1 year, I hit 300 for 3 different teams.
Wow.
I did, and they still sent me out. I hit 100 for the Astros, I hit 100 for the Blue Jays,
Not fair.
and I hit 100 for the Pirates. 300.
Oh, now I get it. Oh, okay. Oh, together. I didn't know you were adding them all together.
So I'll talk
That's
to
how
Pete
it works. That's how it works. The analytics offices, they gather all of the batting averages from the different teams that you play for in one season. And then it is the cumulative number.
Absolutely.
Hey,
all together.
let's bring in our guy, our all-star closer. Ryan Helsley joins us right now on FT Live. Ryan, great to see you. Where you at? Give us the where in the world right now.
We're in Seattle. We just started a long
I don't hear him.
11-game road trip.
11 games.
Nice. I remember those.
10,
days,
maybe. I
11.
don't know. Maybe I can't count. Maybe it's 10.
Maybe it's only 10. 11 would be a weird number, but maybe 11 days, 10 games.
Yeah. That's
where else do y'all go? Seattle and where else?
San Fran and LA Dodgers.
Is that how you woke up like that? Because I know it's still early over there, man.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on Central Standard Time, man. I woke up like at 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's the worst. And then you get used to it the last 2 games of the series, and then you got to go back home, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff, man. Good stuff. We've been talking about the Scherzer topic a lot here. I want to ask you about this. Rosin, I feel like every pitcher uses it. Do you use it? Are you one of those rosin guys? Do you need it? I mean, is there something specific you've seen on this topic where it's like a little out of hand? Like, what are your thoughts about this whole situation?
Yeah, I definitely use it, but there's not much time to go to it anymore. You know, you're so sped up by the pitch clock, you really don't have time. Especially on hotter days, you really need it out there. You know, you're not trying to hit anybody or let one sail up and in, so you're really trying to dry your hands off as much as you can. And yeah, I don't know. The topic's crazy right now. I mean, I feel like it's a super gray area, and I feel like guys obviously aren't trying to cheat, but you know, from what I hear from Scherzer, he wasn't trying to do anything wrong either. But you know, I mean, I definitely think there needs to be some clearing up going on.
Yeah, because I remember when I played, it was funny because you would see somebody, they'd have a little red stuff on the side of their pants, they'd have stuff on their hat, and you know it was kind of frowned upon, but at the same time it was like, hey, you know, who's going to be the one that's going to say something? You know, who's going to be that jackass to say something? But the focus here, it seems like it's the same thing over and over. You got umpires that barely touch the hand. You got umpires who were thorough with it. So what do you think MLB has to do to kind of crack this down? I mean, have you guys been talking about this in the clubhouse?
A little bit, you know. I mean, there definitely needs to be something going on that way it's consistent throughout. Like I said, I don't think most guys are trying to cheat now. You know, they're trying to make the game as fair as possible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I have to do some more digging into that and maybe talk to our player reps some and see what the right train of action is for that.
Yeah, well, we want to hear your opinion on it. So that's why we have you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So something I've been doing, and I've gotten some slack from it. All right, it's kind of like trying to get to know your teammates. But my question has kind of gotten a few guys like stumped. So I don't want to stump you. I'll make it easier for you since you're a pitcher. This is what we need to know. Okay, you got 3 teammates to choose from on your team, not ex-teammates, not anybody from Northeastern University State at junior college, Division III, whatever. You got to strike. What are your teammates each? You got to strike one out. You got to hit one, and then one's got to go deep off you. Which of the 3 are you talking? Which are you let happen?
Oh, let happen or the best chance of those happening?
No, either way.
I'm hitting Andrew Kisner for sure. Put one right in his ribs. That's all I come to say. No, he's
Love
a great
that.
team. Hitting a homer. I mean, I don't know. Goldie or Nolan's probably the obvious choice.
But you're going to let them hit a homer, or they're probably going to hit a homer?
I mean, I'm saying the best chance in my mind. I'm not letting anybody hit a homer, you know?
Okay, that's fair. I like that.
And then what was your last one? Strike one out?
Strike one out. Who would you love to strike out?
New Bar for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, we faced each other last spring training, and he hit about a 12 hopper through the 6 hole. We had a shift, and he tells me all the time he's got like a 2,000 OPS or whatever, and he's 1 for 1, yada yada yada. So I definitely expect him.
So would you step on it then? Like, would you finish him? Would you finish him with 104? Step on it and like do like a like what would be your thing when you would get new bar?
Yeah, I definitely chirped something at him. You know, I gave him crap for leaving this year for the WBC and told him he was scared. But obviously, he had a great WBC and had a great time doing that. And but yeah, that'd be a fun at bat. You know, he's one of my good friends on the team, and it'd be fun.
Hey, talking about chirping and yelling at people, we saw Bumgarner and Contreras the other day. I know you were probably in the outfield by that time, I would assume.
I think I was actually walking to the bullpen. I usually get out there in the 4th inning, and I think that's when it was. And I saw that.
One question is for you about that. Did you hear anything from Contreras afterwards? What are your thoughts on it? And have you ever thrown a pitch like that, seen a guy kind of take a grunt on a swing? Have you ever been like, yo, dog, who are you looking at? Yeah, what's up? Have you ever done that before? Because I feel you're a mellow guy, but I feel like if I took a swing and kind of like gave you one of these, like throw me another one, I feel like you would come back at me a little bit, no?
Yeah, just playing Contreras, the past 4 years and him being in Chicago, you can kind of see that fire in him. And, even in spring training, a couple outbursts. And, you can see the fire. He really cares. He loves the game. He's very passionate. And, I saw him do that. And, I mean, that guy loves the game. He wants to win. He's out there giving it his all. And I don't know, me personally, I don't think I've ever had that happen. I'm sure if somebody said something, it might trigger something. But like you said, I'm a pretty laid-back guy. It might take a lot from me. I'm kind of locked up in the moment. I'm not really worried about the hitter's reaction most of the time.
Well, let me ask you this. What would trigger you? Because I got to tell my cronies on the other teams here who would get you fired up. You going to let me know or not?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. You have to be in the moment type thing.
I got you. Make fun of your hair or something. I'll figure something out. The more I look at you, I'll find out.
He throws 100. You throw 105 miles an hour. You don't really have to flex on anybody. You're just like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just throw it by you. Like that's the thing. But if something had gone down there with Bumgarner and Contreras, obviously you got your boys back. You're obviously thinking in your mind, you're like, man, I remember how Wilson was when he used to play for the Cubs, and so I'm like, so you'd let them fight it out. But who on the Cubs would you have had to take care of? Or are you a guy in fights? Or are you like holding your own teammates back? What's your style in the bench clearing? And it's a long run. Don't pull a hammy running in from the bullpen.
Yeah, I'm usually out of breath by the time I get there, and it's just usually settled down, man. We usually don't run that hard during the season, and like you said, it's a long run to get out there, and it's usually just tripping when you get out there, and guys are usually calmed down by then. Thankfully, I haven't been a part of a nasty brawl, yet, and but yeah, those things can get pretty crazy pretty quick.
Ryan, do you think that in baseball we still have like this weird thing where hitters will try and tell a pitcher he's soft if he's not throwing his fastball enough? You know what I'm saying? Where sometimes guys in the dugout will be like,
"That was me."
tell him, Top Father.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I get it though. I mean, I like my fastball, so I like to challenge guys with it. But I mean, I definitely see where they're coming from. I know if I was hitting, I'd want something a little easier to hit too, man. These guys these days come out of bullpens throwing, pitches like I've never seen before, sweepers and stuff, at 88, moving all the way across the plate and stuff. So, I mean, these hitters are crazy good. You see guys paint a pitch or make the perfect pitch and guys still lace it. Or, I mean, baseball's a funny game. You can make your worst pitch and still get it out. So, I mean, it's just the way the game is.
We go over this a lot here in the foul territory about Hall of Famers. Looking at your team, how many Hall of Famers you think you got in your team? And we'll go from there. How many Hall of Famers you think right now in your squad do you think you got?
I mean, I think 3 for sure, easily. I mean, I think Nolan and Goldie are locks, and I think Waino's kind of teetering. I think he's right there. Could be. Well, I mean, Jordan Walker could be. He's 20 years old, hitting 300 right now. And Nolan Gorman's having a crazy start to this year, and he's only 22. So we definitely got a lot of young guys too as well that could, have long, great careers.
You brought up Jordan Walker. What would you have been able to get him out here in that hot stretch? What was it, 12, 13 games to start his career? Would you have been able to get him out?
I think so. I mean, I like to think I could get anybody out at any time. I feel like the kind of mindset you got to have as back end guy or pitching in general. You can't be out there pitching scared, but whoever's in the box, I feel like you got to have that mentality. You can get them out no matter what kind of streak they're in.
Ryan, give us more on Jordan now that you guys are getting to spend some time with him. Have there been any moments where you're like, okay, like whether it's something that he's into, did he have a heated moment? Not necessarily on the field, where even if he's just passionate about something, like, you know what really grinds my gears? Just anything about Jordan Walker that we can get to know, because he just seems like so nice, appreciative, happy to be here, just knock per day. What's he like, though?
No, he really is. I mean, what you kind of see right there, what you said, is kind of how he is. He's a quiet, humble kid, super nice guy, works hard, obviously, and gets in early and gets his work done. I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, I haven't really got to talk to him much. Obviously, hitters and pitchers are kind of on their own schedules most of the time, and watching film at different times like that or hitting BP or whatever. But he's a great teammate, and got a lot of potential, and hopefully get to know him better throughout the season.
Now, we talked about rookies and like kind of getting them into the fold and everything. You guys took a long flight. You landed. Who's the bus? Who's on the mic for the Cardinals right now? That is I love whoever's on the mic, and I want to hear who's on it, and maybe like a little snippet. Like this is just to hear what we can hear.
Yeah. So usually it's Waino, but he was on his rehab start, and Miles was on it this time, and usually, like you said, you land and guys come up and sing or tell a story or get asked questions or whatever. And usually it's like the rookies, obviously the younger guys, and they'll make them sing a song. And Walker actually killed his. I forgot what song it was, but it was a rap song, and he rapped every lyric for like a minute straight and got the bus going crazy. So he crushed it on that. That was a fun moment right there.
Nice. And who's better, Waino or Miles? Because we have them both on here, so.
Yeah, probably Waino. I feel like he's done it longer. People respect him because he's Waino. Not that they don't respect Miles, but Waino's Waino. He's kind of like that Mount Rushmore type of Cardinals player and baseball player. And when he's on the mic, he makes it fun and gets the bus pretty rowdy.
What's his style? Is his style like is he a radio DJ? Like this is the whole like on the mic thing. Just to explain it to fans, like every road trip, you usually hop on the mic after the flight. And somebody's on the mic for 20, 30 minutes calling guys up. I've seen guys, WFAN here in Seattle, on the microphone throughout the whole bus. But what's his style? What's Waino's style if he's the OG there?
Yeah, he'll usually text out in the group chat, like say the hotline's open, and everybody will text in like, kangaroo court fines, like what's somebody done dumb in the past week, and call them out, and then you either plead guilty, you get to come up and kind of plead your case as well. And then, that gets pretty funny too. Guys try to defend themselves or whatever it may be. And then, like you said, we have guys singing or, telling jokes. And whatever he feels like telling them to do, honestly, he's in control. And, being a young guy, you kind of got to do what they got to say. And then if you don't, everybody will scream at you to go to the back of the bus and, get in the bathroom and sit there until you're told to come out.
Hey, who had the last kangaroo court there? If you can tell us who got in trouble last.
It was last year. We haven't done it yet this year. We just made guys sing this year, and I honestly can't remember, but they're hilarious. Guys trying to get up there and they start stuttering, and you got 25 guys yelling at you, and it gets pretty heated. And it's a fun environment to be in.
Exactly. You can kind of get. I remember the first time I had to sing my alma mater. Man, it was. I enjoyed it. There's some guys who are real nervous about it. Now I want to ask you a question about yourself a little bit. So I'm a big card collector, as we know on this show. Is there a hobby of yours? Are you a card collector? What's some kind of hobbies that you like doing, away from baseball?
Yeah, I like to hunt and fish a lot. I'm an outdoors kind of guy, small town kid, so I kind of grew up doing that kind of stuff. But since I got to the big leagues, I've gotten into, getting some jerseys signed and, especially guys like Yachty, Waino, and Albert. And I've got one from Nolan and Goldie. Got a couple bats from, those guys too. And Waino actually gave me his bat. I got hit with it in my first big league game, one of his bats. And he signed it for me, so that was really cool. I also got a few baseballs from the All-Star game last year from guys. And I got a Kershaw jersey as well. That was pretty cool. I got to ask him for it. And that was a pretty cool moment to ask one of the all-time greats, especially to get his signature.
Ryan, I'm going to rip a few fan questions with you, but I have one that's not in this current live chat right now that I've been seeing circulating. Is Lars Nootbaar, your boy, the most famous St. Louis Cardinal worldwide right now?
No doubt, dude. Me and him, last year we had roughly the same amount of followers on Instagram. He was beating me by like 1,000 or 2,000, and he'd give me crap here and there. He's like, "You're never gonna catch me," and then he was gone for a week. He was up to like 650. He's like, "Bro, you got no shot now." Now he's over 1,000,000, and I mean, it's crazy how how much starstruck he's got, and he's just went straight to the moon with it all, and it's been insane to see and follow.
You got to do the IG collab with him. You know about how that works?
Yeah, I'm about
okay.
to get him to start posting me some more or something, hyping me up a little bit.
Yeah, I got some tips. I'll give you after. Wait, let me get a few fan questions in here. So Lorenzo says, who has a better glove, Arenado or Goldschmidt?
I think Arenado, but goalie's a beast over there. He definitely helps Nolan out sometimes, and just to watch Nolan night in and night out, man, it's insane. He's literally a robot. Both of them are. I'll tell him all the time, "You guys are robots, man. You guys make it look so easy." And just less thinking out there on the field. It's just all reaction, and those guys take care of business and have obviously been some of the game's greatest players for the last 10 years. And it's fun to watch and really fun to be a part of.
This one from Jay: if you were to play for any other team, which team would you love to play for?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I've honestly never.
Who was your squad growing up?
It was St. Louis. I mean, they're my favorite team. Yeah, I went to St. Louis games, Royals, and the Rangers. They were all kind of the same distance away from home. But I grew up playing a lot of sports, so I wasn't really too bought into Major League Baseball at the time, and didn't really follow it closely.
Okay, then I can help this out and be a little bit of the PC answer, but give me a team that you'd want to play for in any sport.
In any sport?
Because you said you played other sports, so did you want
to
be
I played
on
football and basketball as well. I was a big Kobe fan growing up. Obviously, I'm not tall enough to play in the NBA. I'm only like 6'2", so that would have never worked out. Football-wise, I'm kind of a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I guess I'd pick them. Getting to play in Dallas, live in Dallas, and play in Jerry's World, I think that'd be pretty cool.
And a couple more. What sounds better when throwing 105? Mitt popping or crowd grasping?
Probably the mitt popping. I mean, it's a different kind of sound. I'm not really paying attention to it much out there. Sometimes you just kind of feel it, like, oh, that one came out a little harder. You give a glance to the board up there, and not every day is that well, but you can definitely tell those days when the ball's coming out a little harder.
Also, Kratzy, don't call me out. I meant gasping. Don't try and correct me.
Oh, no, I knew what you meant. It's okay. You're reading off the fans. I wasn't.
The font's too small.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but like 105, you're going through the mitt. Do you guys ever give Hicksy any problems? Because he knocked Contreras out of the game with his 105 to his kneecap, and he also knocked, I won't say what it was, of Yadier Molina's with another 105 pitch. So do you guys give Hicksy any problems? Like, he's knocking more Cardinals out of games than he is other teams out of games?
No, I mean, that dude's stuff's insane. He's throwing 105, and it moves like a wiffle ball, literally at 100+ miles an hour every time. And then he's got a nasty slider at 90 going the other way, So I'd hate to be a catcher, man. What those guys do is insane. I mean, I play catch them every day, and it's obviously not 100%. And I can't imagine what it looks like, being 60 feet away and this dude max effort every time.
Ryan, another fan question here from Robert. And I know we talked about the song itself, but want to focus more on the light show aspect. So he said, how much does Helsley love entering to Hell's Bells? The stadium is electric when it happens. Sick light show. I mean, we've seen this really pick up over the past year, where if you're somewhat of a firm closer on a ball club, you're going to get a whole song and dance when you enter, and the fan experience is heightened. It just makes the game cool. I know you've talked about, you feel pumped up about it, but what have you thought about how that works with you and with other closers? We're seeing it now. It's not just Edwin Diaz, Jordan Romano. I think we see it with who? Even a non-closer like Andres Munoz, he closes sometimes, but not all the time. So I think it's awesome, and it highlights you guys more.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, bullpens don't really get much love, but be able to get that in the back end of the game, you know, kind of lock the fans in some more and, you know, really hype up that ninth inning moment, you know, coming in to close the game. And, you know, most places, like you said, are shutting the lights off or doing something with the music. So it's really cool and definitely gets, you know, the stadium rocking. And it's definitely a place you want to be, you know, in the ninth inning and, you know, have that ball and have the opportunity to go out there.
Hey, what? Go ahead, Kratzy.
I'm a butt in with your walkout song. What other aspect in life would you wish you had a walkout song to? Like, what would it be sick if you were like you just downed this monster elk on a hunt and you had Hell's Bells like, you know, it just hits as you're like walking through the woods at 6:30 in the morning. And this thing's dead. And what else in life would you like a walk up song to?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could do something like that. That's a good question. I've never really thought about that. I don't know. Maybe a walk up song when you're about to go max out on a squat or a deadlift or something. I mean, hype yourself up a little bit too.
I like that. Yeah. Hey, Ryan, what's your message right now to Cardinals fans who don't realize that the season is 162 games and you're only a few games under 500, and really some people that are freaking out about the Pirates probably are going to check the calendar in August or September and go, oh yeah, this is a normal season.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this is my 5th year, and you know, at some point, like you said, it's 162 games. You're going to have a bad stretch, and I think this year it's just, you know, the start of the season for us, and you know, where most years it's probably in June or July or even August, and you know, people don't really bat an eye at it because at that point in time you've won 70, 80 games, and you're 10 to 15 to 20 games over 500, you know, so it doesn't look as bad. But, you know, we got a really good ball club. I think we got a lot of talent. You know, we just got to have things go our way a little bit and, you know, just get going right here and catch a good hot streak for us.
I've got one for you. I've been polling players this week on the new rules that are being experimented in the Atlantic League. Have you seen them, first off? You heard about it?
Maybe.
Okay, so I'll help you out because the Atlantic League, they'll use it as a testing ground, and sometimes I feel bad for the players there because some of the rules are okay, they work out, and some of them are ridiculous. Like they tried to move the mound, which obviously there was a lot of pushback on that one. But the some of the current rules that are being implemented in the Atlantic League this season: a designated runner that can come into the game and then come out and then come back in. There is a hook rule, which means if your starting pitcher doesn't go 5 innings at least, you lose your designated hitter. So you have to put pitchers back in to hit for the rest of the game, or I guess you can pinch hit and mess around like that, but you lose your DH. And then what was the other one, Kratzy? What's the third one? Help me out.
The hook. No, the hook rule, double hook. One disengagement.
Oh, and then 1 disengagement instead of the current 2. So let's get your breakdown on those 3 that are being tested out right now. What do you think?
I don't mind the pitch runner. I think if it's just for catchers, it would work out because especially with the pitch clock, you know, in between innings, when you got a guy coming out of the bullpen or even a starter, you know, it's hard to get dressed and get your warm-up throws in, you know, and that guy's trying to scramble and run across the field and put all this gear on. And, you know, so I think maybe for a catcher it might work. I think for anybody else, I'm not really for it. I think for a catcher it'd be okay. The disengagement's definitely against that. You know, I think pitchers need a disengagement with nobody on. You know, you're out there every 15 seconds, you know, ripping balls, and it's not even in the middle of the summer yet. You know, who knows how this pitch clock's going to fit guys when it's 100+ outside and guys are sweating, and you know, I mean, it might get crazy out there. I don't know. We'll see. And what was the last one? I forgot what was the last one.
The hook rule. So if the starter doesn't go 5, then you lose the DH.
No, I don't like that one either. I think if we're going to have a DH, let's just keep it how it is, and you know, we'll figure it out in the bullpen after that.
Yeah, Kratzy shaking his head over here. I don't know what's going on.
Right. Listen, bud. Look. Okay. I'm here in New Jersey, and we take care of guys who are talking bad about different dudes. Like pinch hitting for your catchers? Pinch running for your catchers? What is this? High school, little league? We got courtesy runners? Like, why don't I pinch run for you when you run in from the bullpen and you get tired?
Catcher, you know, those guys are out there squatting for 3 hours and taking balls off the knee and forearm. You know, I mean, they could take a little break and some help out there.
I'm with you, bud. I'm with you. I don't care what he says. Get them in, get the gear on, let's go. Quickens the game for one.
I mean, they're trying to speed the game up. I mean, it's only going to help if that's what they're trying to implement.
He's just mad because he's trying to get his run scored up. And
I'm trying to get my arbitration. I'm trying to get 13, 14 runs a year, especially as a backup catcher. Come on, Helsley.
Good stuff, man.
Hey, one more for you. One more fan question. What's your shoulder arm flexibility like? Can you touch your elbows together?
Yeah, I think that's not too crazy. I mean, I think that's pretty easy. Coming up through the minor leagues, I was relatively a stiff guy, so that was something I had to work on and kind of get a routine down and, help my body stay mobile and stuff. So that's something that has kind of helped me, I think, stay healthy and get me to where I am today is a good mobility program.
Anybody have some weird flexibility, like with their, how some of the pitchers with their fingers too, they can like bend them back. And I mean, I worked with Pedro Martinez for many years and he's just got straight Play-Doh fingers. It's ridiculous.
Not really. Alex Reyes was the only guy that I've ever seen that's like super flexible. Like that dude was so flexible and hyper mobile, I guess you would say. He had crazy mobility in like all of our testing and stuff that we would do, but nobody currently on the team right now.
Cool. Hey, Ryan, good luck out there, man. Great catching up with you. This was fun. We'll do it again in a few weeks, all right?
Thanks, brother.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Good talking to
you.
Yep. Appreciate you, man. Ryan Helsley with us. And I'm guessing also, Kratzy, maybe I should have clarified. Are they talking about the elbows back? Because I was like, or I guess I should have clarified, but I was like, we're kind of getting tight on time. And also, I don't want to cause any injuries on an interview. Imagine if you get a fan question and a pitcher goes, oh, yeah, I can do.
He's like, yeah, like a Brandon Woodruff style where he pulled his hamstring stretching before his big league opener.
Yeah, no. Good move. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, it's kind of like when your uncle would come up to you when you were a kid and be like, hey, I can stick my tongue out and touch my ear, and you're like, and your uncle just goes like this.
I've never seen that before.
You've never seen that?
I was wondering what you were going to do there. I had no clue. I thought you were going to do the thumb thing where the guy, oh, look, I broke it. You've seen that one before. That was great. I bet you I can stick my tongue out and touch my ear. That's phenomenal.
You're going to get Graham on that for sure.
Tonight when
all day tomorrow at Little League, you're going to use it.
It's going to be great. Every kid. Everyone. That's phenomenal.
So just for everyone, if you're just joining us, Mike Moustakas is going to join us in a few minutes. We'll do our locks of the day. Marc Carig, who's super opinionated, fun personality, writes for The Athletic. He's going to join us a little bit later on. And right now, I want to try something out. So Claudia put together a little light Friday game called Take It or Leave It. And I'm going to ask you guys a question, and you take it or leave it. Super simple, all right? There's no gimmicks here. Just you like it or you don't like it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the next team Shohei Ohtani joins will make it to the World Series. Now, I didn't get a specification on will make it right away to the World Series, but will make it to the World Series. Take it or leave it.
Is that when if he gets traded to whatever team he goes to next is what we're
next
saying.
Team he joins, whether it's at the deadline, after the season. The one caveat, though, is I'm not saying, at least that's not how the question's written. Sure. It doesn't mean if Ohtani, let's say he signs with the Dodgers next year. It doesn't mean they have to win in 2024. Just at some point, they will.
They will. They will. 100%. They will.
So you're taking it.
I was 100% being like, yeah, the next team he goes to is gonna, but the whole like traded part, I didn't think about that. The next team he signs with will be in the World Series during Shohei Ohtani's record-breaking $523 million contract.
With $400 million making side money too as well.
Oh yeah, first $1 billion baseball player.
$1 billion baseball player. Watch out.
You think someone's going to give him side money? Like he's going to get some wire transfer?
Endorsements, all that stuff. I'm not saying 400, but it's he's making over 40 now, as we know, for side endorsements. I mean, if he goes to New York,
I thought you were talking about. Do you remember when the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, were owned by the Russian dude who was kind of shady, and Andrei Kirilenko signed for like nothing? And he's from the same country, and they were like, the dude just got side money. It's the best way to avoid the salary cap.
No salary cap.
Boom, take that.
Yeah.
You can go play. Yeah,
exactly. It's called a money bag, baby.
Money.
They're just backing the truck up to his house, and they're giving him a check every 2 weeks.
Now, that's not allowed, but I'm just saying, if I had to guess, it probably happened. All right, so
that's an easy one.
Number 2, and I'm going to add a bonus question on top of this, but number 2, Edwin Diaz will make his return during the 2023, that's this year, postseason. Take it or leave it, Kratzy. Leaving it?
I'm leaving it. Don't do it. Like I'm leaving it because I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Timmy Trumpets go. Just leave it. Leave it be. It was a patella tendon. It wasn't an ACL. Like, it was a real injury that this man needs to come back and pitch 4 more years for your team. Leave it.
My turn.
Your turn. It's only you. Only you two today.
I think your next question is, if they are in the playoffs, will he come back? Like, was there a part 2 you said?
Well, I have a part 2 with a different player that I'm going to add that's not seen in our little question bank.
I think it just depends on where they're at in the season. And if they're in the playoffs, I'd like to see him back. I would love to see him back.
So you're taking it. Are you taking it or are you leaving
taking it? I'm
taking it too.
Taking it.
Taking it. I think they sneak in. I don't think they're winning the division. I think they make it in, and I think he comes back. He's got the security, $100 million contract, and Steve Cohen's got the best damn staff around him. He is living the life right now on rehab. He's got like 10 people working in his place that Cohen brought over.
On rehab too.
True,
Everybody's on rehab.
He's got a lot of friends: Verlander, Carrasco, Quintana. It's a lot of
Scherzer's hopping in and icing his fingers now from all the touching that was going on.
Nah, Scherzer's got a hurt heart because he got robbed. Yeah. So he's got to repair that thing.
I wonder if they're still paying him. I know it's supposed to be unpaid. I wonder if the Mets are like, nah, you didn't do anything wrong. We're going to pay you.
I actually need to look into that more because I saw that there was like a $10,000 fine, which Max Scherzer calls a penny. But I didn't see anything about him getting docked salary. So it might not be one of those salary docks. Yeah, because I feel like I would have seen it all over the internet from the insiders, like, oh, he's losing like $2 million on this. I didn't see that. So I have a feeling that's not the case. I also have a feeling Max would have fought harder in that way and said, screw coming back for the Braves. I'm making this $2 million back. So I don't think so. I'm not the one to confirm it, but I'm pretty sure just based on some digging. Okay, here's my bonus question. Ready? Take it or leave it. Bryce Harper will be playing for the Philadelphia Phillies within 3 weeks because they're saying he might be back in 2. I'm going to extend it to 3 just because it still would be flying past when he was supposed to come back. He was supposed to come back around midway through the season. And there was something that came out in the past 24 hours that said he might even come back in 2 weeks and he's flying through his rehab. So take it or leave it. I'm going to put the over under at 3 weeks. You taking 3 weeks or less?
I'm going to say, yeah. He's been doing some first base. He's been moving around. Haven't heard any problems, any setbacks. So I'm going to say 3 weeks. Yeah, I could see him coming back in 3 weeks. How about you, E?
I'm looking at what 3 weeks is. 3 weeks is a Friday. Oh, Cinco de Mayo?
Hey.
He's coming back. Yeah. Good for the Phillies.
Oh, man.
You guys crack a beer with me or something on Cinco de Mayo if Bryce Harper's back?
No,
May
we
5.
have tequila coming, don't we?
Corona,
hell yeah.
Or tequila. Well, the Rays.
Either or.
I know how to make a mean margarita. What is it? No.
I don't know. Ice?
No, it's got a kick to it. What the heck, the freaking margarita?
Cayenne pepper?
Spicy margarita. Sorry.
There you go.
Oh.
My wife really likes it. So I'm sure you like a little kick or no?
No, ketchup's too spicy for me.
Oh, man.
Really?
No.
I'm not a huge spicy guy, but spicy margarita, I'd be down. If it's homemade, if we're getting it one day to celebrate, it's got to be celebrating something. So we'll celebrate Harper and something maybe personally for FT. There is an announcement, but
I feel like if we're drinking with Todd, the margarita glasses at most people's houses are probably like this big, or it's maybe like a plastic. Todd's house, it's like the 22 ounce, it's like the 29-ounce margarita. You're just like, oh Lord, like
drive home.
What? How many straws are we getting in this thing?
You know how they say everything's bigger in Texas. Jersey's got a little bit of that sometimes too.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
Todd's got that.
Todd's definitely got that going. Hey, 2 more before Moustakas joins us. The take it or leave it. The stolen base leader this season will have 70+ stolen bags. 70+. I know Todd Father's answer.
I said it before in the season. I think Cedric Mullins has 9 right now, and they haven't played 20 games yet, or they're right around 20. I mean, you calculate that. Ding, 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 ding,
Calculate
ding,
it for
ding,
us,
ding,
Todd.
ding, ding. 81. Let's go to work. Let's go. 2 guys might have over 70. Anthony
agree.
Volpe.
I'm buying that hard too. I'm taking that. I thought we should have upped the number. Kratzy, no, you don't think 70 this year?
No,
Based
I'm
on what
saying
we've seen?
you're on my side for a change. I appreciate that.
Me? I'm always on your side. We're from the
Okay,
same
baby.
state. We root for the same team. Not always, but usually on your side. Kratzy, you getting 70 plus here? I'll give you. Nico Horner, our boy who was on the other day, 9. Mullins has 9. Acuna, Jorge Mateo, and Volpe all have 8. There's a bunch with 7. So let me do quick math. Let's say, because most of these guys
How
are
many games?
approaching.
How many games are we in?
I saw 19.
They're approaching 20. It's an
20.
easier number for me to do
Cardinals
math
are
on.
8 and 11, so they were at 19. So say 20.
So you should have round times
That's
it by 8.
72.
Correct.
That's 72 bags.
So we're right at that, around that mark. And here's the thing: it could get close based on injuries, based on the league adjusting to all the stolen bases. See, I'm still curious, Kratzy. Give me the catcher perspective. Are they going to cool off, or are they going to amp up more because the success rate's so high? I'm like, keep running. Let's normally you look at the clock. They have to adjust the clock, the first base coaches, and be like, hey, if we're 88% successful, I'm good if we're 70% successful and we steal another bag per game.
I would. Well, first answer is no. I think it's under, but it is definitely higher than I thought it was going to be. Like these pitchers, I neglected how spaced out these pitchers are. That they can't figure out how to keep a runner close. But I think teams are combating it, and that's why I tried to get in with Adley the other day. Is I wanted to hear how they're trying to combat it, and he was like a vault about it, so he didn't tell us. But it is so tough. I get it. You got 9. You're feeling good in April. Todd, when you stole 20 that one year, you feel it. You feel it in your legs. Now we're talking about a guy that is normally stealing 45, getting 20 more. That's extra. That's a lot. But they're not going to be diving back into first, which people are like, oh, that's nothing. Why does that tire you out? Diving back into first constantly is something that can wear you out, except now they can't. So it is higher than I thought. I'm going to still go with the under of 70, but man, we're right on that border. I think we might see a 65.
Fair enough.
Let's ask your boy. I always, what I like to do? I like to just spill the combo right into the guest action. Now batting, Mike Moustakas. And I saw a little bit of this yesterday, whatever they're doing at second base for everyone.
What are you guys doing? Is that you guys getting
the boys, Kratzy? It's for the boys.
It's for the boys. Okay, see? All that means, Scotty, all that means is he can't tell us. That's all it means.
Kratzy, me and you both know we don't know anything about diving back into first base, bud.
Boy, you said it. With that chewed-up piece of bubble gum and my slow legs, man, you ain't going nowhere.
We don't do that.
Ain't going nowhere.
It's a courtesy off when they throw it over for us.
Nope.
You at the ballpark right now?
Yeah, early bus, 1:30.
Nice. So how's it going? How you liking the squad? Obviously, there's a lot of young guys too. They're trying to kind of rebuild. So you probably walk in and they're like, "Wow, what's the World Series like, man?"
Cool, man. It's a great team, great organization. The dudes are awesome, man. All the young guys are cool. They all ask a bunch of questions. It's pretty weird now, though. There's guys being born in 90, 92, and I'm sitting here like, man, that's. I started playing big leagues when you were in 6, so
90, forget it. There's guys probably born 2000 at this point. I mean, it's 2023. You got some 22, 23-year-olds, right?
Not 90. I was barely born in 90. I'm in 2000.
2000, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you just coming off the golf course here? It looks like you just got in, played about 18 holes. What you been doing, brother?
I wish. I forgot my sticks on this trip, so I was just sitting in the hotel room. We had a fire alarm go off in the morning. It was good. So everybody woke up early, and I had a good chance to walk around Philly for a little bit, so it was fun.
Wait. You forgot your sticks to the most underrated city for golf ever, And you could have texted me. You just don't say anything until I before I berate you. You could have texted me, and we could have gotten you on the #1 course in the world, Pine Valley, and you could have done that. And you forgot your sticks.
There's so many parts to that, Kratz. Like, you have my number. You could have texted me. I would have made sure I brought them. It was a miscommunication with me and some of the guys in the clubhouse. It was a lot going on, you know. But yeah, the phone works both ways. We could have been playing. We could have done it. It would have been awesome.
I'll be honest. I'm coaching high school baseball, and I had no idea that you guys were in Philly today. So that's on me. That's on me. Friendship dues are coming out of my bank account this time.
Yeah,
I understand.
I'll let this one ride. And you know, I mean, T. Frazier, anytime you want to get out there with us, buddy, don't be afraid.
Yeah, that's on me too, big dog. I didn't know you were in Philly either, dog. That's on me. My fault. Hey, listen, we're talking about golf. You need to talk to me about Trout. Trout National, right down the street there too, dog. You
How
been hearing
about that?
him?
Yeah, how about that? I'm trying to get a free membership right now. I don't know if it's gonna work or not.
I'm doing the same thing.
I've been texting him. I'm like, hey, Mike, like, just let me slide on the dues, dude. Like, I'll do whatever you need. I'll mow the greens. I'll get out there for you, buddy. But just hook me up with one of those free memberships, a friendly membership, whatever you got. I'll take it.
Did he respond?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we were in that fantasy football league together, so there's a lot of trash talking going on in that. So, yeah, he basically said no, but it's all right.
Listen, listen, that's my boy. I was trying to get the in too, and he kept going around it and around it. I'm like, hey, man, I'll be there opening day. I said, I got crickets back, dog. Absolute crickets. So when they have that, go ahead.
I think we just show up. And he can't say no.
Hey, when they have that celebrity tournament, all of us, if we're not invited, Mike, you know, I'm gonna be driving down there causing some havoc. So
I'm coming too. I'll probably end up carrying someone's bag, but that's fine.
Hey, it's not like he's got a bunch of teammates. He's played on the same team his entire. Exactly. So we played all together. So
yeah,
Moose, let's talk about how much of a buddy Trout and your boy T Father over here were in. I mean, it was like little brother. He was like, "Come on, Mikey, we can take you." Tell everybody about it, because people don't believe just me.
It was funny, man. It was cool because Todd was showing him the ropes, showing him how to do stuff, and Mike was just kind of following around. And you know, I remember we were playing cards, me, Mikey, Frage, and Haas one night, and Mike went up and got I think he went and got a Coke or something, and came back with nothing. And Frage looks at him, he goes, "Hey, man, go get the boys some Cokes."
Hey, listen, the BP that he took. Do you remember every time he got up to the plate, where everybody was on the edge of the seat, what's he going to do next? This guy, I think that's when he took off, was when we were at Team USA playing in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
We ended up, I don't know how we lost that. That was ridiculous.
That one hurt.
I remember exactly like it was yesterday, dude. This guy, lead off a game homer, steal second, steal third. His numbers were just astronomical in the minor leagues and in that series. I'm like, I knew this dude was from Jersey, but God bless him, man. This guy's going to be for real, dude.
Yeah, I was the same way. I knew he was a really good ball player. And I was like, man, I can't wait to see, what it's all about. And then he played. I'm like, oh, they're really underselling this guy. This guy might be one of the greatest of all time. And I mean, sure enough, it hit. But it was just, he was so much better than everybody else on the field every time he stepped out there. It was and what was he was only 19 or something, or 20?
Yeah, he was 19. Hey,
that was I was like, ooh, me and Kratz, you got to work really hard.
I was still 10 years older than you when I was on that team. I was always old. I think I was born old. But speaking of people that you need to let back in, now did you guys let Tommy Pham back in that fantasy football league, or was that an out?
Tommy didn't come back in the league. I don't think he wanted to be in the league. Next question.
Hey, how do you stay? Have you won that league before? You get your money back at least? How do you do in
Yeah,
those leagues?
I came in second last year.
Nice.
Yeah, I did all right. My team, we didn't really want to play in the championship game. We just didn't show up, so I got destroyed in the last game. But we had a good season, good draft, real good draft.
Yeah,
I'm go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Frazier.
No, I'll go. So you'll miss one of your kids' outings in a little league game just to make sure you get that fantasy draft in. I would assume.
Dude, so it was funny. I was on the golf course and I had mixed up the times, and I was on hole number 7. And Haas texted me that the draft was kicking off in like 10 minutes. I was like, oh no! So I got in the car. Drove safely home and was in time home for the draft.
You got lucky there, big dog.
Moose, also, I mean, this is serious. Like last year, right? The buy-in was it 10K or 100K?
It wasn't
Come on.
100K. It wasn't 100K.
Come on, Scotty.
10.
I'd
It was
have to-
10, right?
Maybe a little more than 10. Maybe. Definitely more than 10.
Definitely more than 10.
No, but I'm saying like you just forget a draft for a league that you can win 6 figures in the purse.
I didn't forget the draft. I forgot the time zone change because everyone was. It was during the season. There were people East Coast, West Coast. Our commissioner did a great job of sending out a bunch of emails and stuff. And I have probably 12,000 unread emails, so that's kind of how that happened.
Moose, one more on this. I'm not going to say TFAM, but when that all went down, have we had some rule changes to the league since then to avoid any conflict going forward with your fellow baseball players?
Yeah. We tried to. We actually hired a commissioner because Trout was the commissioner of the league, and he didn't really want to do it. And there's a lot of stuff going on, so we hired a guy to run the league for us, and he did a great job. So we tried to put everything to a vote, make sure all the rules were clean, and to avoid any altercations in the near future.
Wait, you hired somebody? Now it's friendship dues on you again. You know I'm unemployed. Like
Yeah. You're running it, bro. You got me.
I love it.
You got me.
That's a pro. Hey, that's pro's pro right there, dude. I got to be honest with you.
You got me.
That's phenomenal. I would love to know who this guy is. I think I don't know where you would find him. He's got to be from Jersey because ain't nobody messing with him once the money gets there.
Yeah, we got just long story short, Dave Portnoy, the dude from Barstool, the Prez, he started tweeting and texting, and I asked him if he wanted to be in the league. He said yeah, and then he hired one of his guys to take over, who's like a huge fantasy football guy. So
phenomenal.
This
story just gets getting better and better, dog. I mean, there should be like a whoever wins, everybody gets together, celebration somewhere at Trout National, maybe in 2025.
See, that's what I'm talking about, dude.
Yes. That's where you need to have the draft next. I'll come.
Yeah.
I'll hold somebody's bag just so I can get around in. We can go halves on whatever you need, get a pie afterwards, and we'll call it a day.
That sounds like a day to me, dude. You know this.
There's going to be a 30 for 30 on this thing one day. It is just, it just keeps getting better and better. Its own commish.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. The league talk is really good. The boys keep it going. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, on that, just in general, who's the best texter, like dropping, memes or something like that, whether it's within that league or just anywhere else? Because I remember from the World Baseball Classic this past, everyone was saying Kyle Tucker, who, if you've been around him, he's pretty quiet. He doesn't crack many jokes, at least among players and media. Sometimes he's got that like dry humor, but apparently he just rips like GIFs and memes and all this stuff, and he's like the ultimate prankster and jokester in a text chat.
That's awesome. Yeah. Shockingly, of course, this guy's good at everything, but Trout dropped some pretty good ones in there. And actually, Eric Hosmer, he said some really funny stuff in those group chats. But no one's safe in there. It's you got to have some thick skin in that league.
Really, we kind of heard about it. Speaking of golf and the fact that you're not going to get on Trout National, is there anybody on the Rockies that can beat you in golf? First part.
Yes, Kyle Freeland. He's like a 1, and I haven't played with him yet, but I've heard he's pretty good. And I'll give you a funny story about that. So I played with Jeff Hoffman in Cincinnati for a couple years, and he told me that Freeland went out and shot like a 73 the day before we faced him, and he got me to roll over on a ground ball. And as I was running back to the dugout, I was like, I ran past him like, "Damn, dude, you shot a 73 yesterday? That's incredible."
That's awesome.
So the second part of my question is, we had Ian Happ on, and he said he thinks McNeil could beat him. Did he say anybody else, Scotty?
Aaron Hicks.
Oh yeah, Aaron Hicks. Do you consider yourself up in that echelon? Because you might play more than any position player that I've ever played with during the season.
Right.
So do you consider yourself up there?
I did at one point, but with the 4 kids now, that makes it a little challenging. Getting out and playing golf is tough. I like being at home with the kids, but I mean, if we're out there, I'm trying to go low. So I'm not gonna say I can't beat them, but I'm gonna need some time.
Yeah, talking about the kids. So you got 4 of them: Mila, Marigold, Monroe, and Mick, all with M's. Is there any significance to that?
Yeah, we started out with Mila. Me and my wife decided that was, a perfect name for her. And then for Mick, he's Michael Carter, named after me and my dad. So I wanted to kind of keep that, tradition going. And then the other 2, it just kind of felt right to name them M names. But it's perfect. Like, for all of them and each of their personalities, their names are perfect. So it worked out really well.
So how many more are you going to have? Because at some point you got to say no, Mikey.
She said no. So we're done. That's it.
That's it. Sound like a conversation. 4. Hey, 4 is good.
4 is good. They're perfect kids too. I mean, you guys know how it is on the road. You don't spend as much time with them as you want, and you really rely on your wife to, both be, parents for both you and her. So my wife's been incredible. She's done an amazing job, and the kids are amazing.
Yeah, Steph's amazing. So that's why you have great kids. You're just like, you're the 5th kid. She's always, that's why she doesn't want 5. You're the 5th kid. You go and play a game, and then you get home and you're like, I want to play a game, and then you play games with them. So you're the 5th kid.
It's a perfect role for me. You can't really beat it.
Hey, Moose, I want to circle back to how you were woken up this morning. Is there a Philadelphia conspiracy theory where fans are trying to psych out the Rockies? Why is there a fire alarm at the crack of dawn in your hotel this morning?
I don't know. I was up, so again, circling back to the 4 kids, my time is like I wake up at about 6 o'clock every morning now, so I was up and ready. But yeah, the boys, some of the boys, the younger guys were still sleeping, didn't know what was going on. So, there could be something going on, but I don't think so. The alarm was going off for probably a good 15 to 30 minutes, so it was insane.
Damn.
Hey, my last question for you. I know you've seen it from a player perspective now, the Scherzer thing that's been going on. You've seen all these pitchers with the sticky stuff. What's your perspective of it as a hitter? Do you think MLB needs to crack down and make some new rules or figure something out? What's your thoughts on this whole situation?
Yeah, it's been going on since, before me, you, all of us were playing, I agree with the fact that these guys need to have some sort of grip on the ball, whether that be like, sunscreen and rosin or anything like that. I don't want to see anybody getting hit, especially in the head. But if we're using stuff that is, helping, spin the ball a different way, making you a better pitcher, then that's something that needs to be addressed. But it is what it is. I'm just out here playing. I don't make the rules. I have fun playing the game no matter what. So again, dude, it is what it is to me. I'm good with whatever.
No, I'm with you. I mean, my only thing is we had Max on like 2 days before all that went down. And of course, in that start, his spin rates did not change at all.
Yeah.
And Max was actually saying that's why it was crazy. People looked back at it and it went viral.
Yeah.
They were like, Scherzer just said that there's no way to tell like the stickiness and tacky level of rosin with sweat. It can get pretty sticky on the hand.
Yeah.
And Phil Cuzzy's the guy who's just been banging people and ejecting them from games. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering how they're going to be able to tell if all he was using was what they said. And then they're like, use rubbing alcohol, which made it worse. The league made him do that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just remember when I was in Kansas City during the summers, how hot it was, and you weren't sunscreen, and I'd always run to the mountain and put rosin on my hands, and then I'd just have, just it'd be so sticky you could almost like not grip the ball. So it's but it doesn't make you. It just gives you a little grip on the ball and that stuff. So I don't think it helps you, as a pitcher, other than getting a little bit more feel on the baseball. So, but the other stuff, that spider tack and whatever it is, that stuff's crazy.
Yeah, definitely crazy.
That's
One of the other things we're talking about is the Atlantic League rules. You probably haven't heard of it because you're not an independent league player, but we're talking about the Atlantic League stuff.
I just saw something. What are they doing?
So they have a couple of them, but the one I wanted to ask you about, since you and I are absolute speed demons on the base paths, even with Rusty Kuntz, one of the rules, Rusty can get you 5 bags. He can get
At
anybody
least
5 bags.
you can get anybody 5 bags.
But the rule is a pinch runner, that's an automatic pinch runner. So Moose, you get on base, they bring the pinch runner in. He runs. Then you get to go right back in the game. And then he gets to do it again the next time you hit again. So how do you feel about that?
Well, that actually happened to me last night, so it was phenomenal.
So you're in.
Yeah, I got a pinch hit in the ninth, hit a double, and I'm standing at second base, and all of a sudden Castro's standing next to me. I was like, oh wow, what a game that is, So that was it for me. So I'm all aboard that.
I like that. Yeah, they're doing the designated runner, and then the other two that they're trying out are the hook rule, where if a starter doesn't go 5 innings, then you lose your DH because they're trying to promote pitchers going deeper into the game. So what are your thoughts on that one?
That's tough. Yeah. You risk an injury by doing something like that, and if a guy's not having a good day on the mound, you got to get him out of there and give him a chance to recover, and give yourself a chance to win the game. So that making guys stay out there for 5 innings, that's kind of rough. But I guess I could understand the point of trying to get guys to stay in the game longer, but then you run the risk of injuring people and ruining careers at that point, which is something we're all trying to avoid.
Yeah, I agree. And then the last one is the disengagements. So right now we're down to the 2 for the pitchers with the guy on, and they're like, let's maybe try 1 to amp the speed game up a little more so that you can grab more bags.
That doesn't affect me.
Hard pass.
Yeah, no. I think two's pretty. What we got going on right now, it seems pretty good. It keeps the game moving. Kratzy, you remember when Bruce Chen would pick over 8-9 times in a row?
All the time.
Yeah, anytime somebody got on base, it was at least 5 picks to first base, and you're just standing at third base, catching, counting. You're like, all right, he's got to pitch at some point, and then he just, nope, we're going to pick off again.
It was like a nervous tick. Like he couldn't come set with it. Oh, pick.
Yeah, got to pick.
Pick.
Yeah, and then he finally came set and went home, and then he picked 5 more times. But I think 2's actually pretty good. The game's speeding up. It's a lot more action now. Guys are running. Guys are taking chances. It's actually a lot of fun to watch and kind of be a part of. It's pretty cool.
So what's
Hey,
the one? I want to ask one more for you. What
Yeah.
is the one rule you would change? Not any of the new rules. One rule in baseball you would change, especially since you're getting closer to the end of your career. Not the end, just the closer, because you're going to get to watch a lot more baseball now.
Yeah. I think they already changed the rule that I was hoping for, was that shift. Not having a guy out in right field anymore that throws you out at first base. That one's tough.
That's Knox.
Yeah, it's no fun. Other than that, man, I think the game's in a really good spot right now. I think as hitters, with the 15 seconds in between pitches, I mean, it does happen kind of fast. And if you do walk around for a split second, you got to hustle in the box. So I'd like to see a little bit more time for that. Maybe like 17 or 18 seconds, as crazy as that sounds, it makes a big difference. But other than that, I think the game's in a really good spot, man. It's fun. It's exciting. We got some incredible young players that are going to be superstars, not only on our team but in the league. And I think the game's in a great spot for the future.
Moose, you got to get a group chat going with like you, Matt Olson. You take current guys, you take guys that have been around for a while, take some past guys that were absolutely screwed by the shift, like take Teixeira, and just bring them all together and be like, "We're back, baby."
Yeah, we're gonna see some guys coming back. It's gonna be great.
I love it. Hey, awesome to have you on, Kratzy.
Awesome, boys.
You can sign him off. Go ahead.
Moose, I need you to go out and hit a pump tonight. Are you in the lineup?
Nah, I'm watching today, buddy. I'm cheering.
Damn.
I'm
You're
cheering.
You're on the Kratz mode, just on the bench.
Yeah. I'm bench. It's good though. I'm having fun, man. It's these boys are fun, dude. It's a good team to be around, and I stay ready. I'll get my pinch hit later on. If I go deep, I'll let you know.
You got to get them old legs going.
Oh, dude, riding the bike all day.
I love it. Moose, hit one for Kratz. Great to have you on, dude. We'll do it again soon.
Awesome, boys. Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Moose.
Appreciate you. Awesome. Mike Moustakas joining us, and our next guest is a couple minutes away. Yeah, we had a couple people in the YouTube chat. Sports Kingdom, who's with us a lot, he said, this is probably Foul Territory's best guest in quite some time. And that's saying something. I mean, we've
A bunch of good guests, but
no, of course, but
Moose, when you get a guy that's
good
comical,
times.
that'll tell you the truth, and that being real as a real true person, that there's nothing better than those kind of interviews. That was
and
great.
Moose is big time. I mean,
yeah.
Tratz's boy, like he's got the A-list phone contacts going on, Kratzy.
Yeah, absolutely. Rolodex. This dude was the guy that, like, when we started talking about this show, I hit him up. I hit him up first, and he's like 2 degrees of separation, just because that's how he is. Like exactly how he is in that interview there. It wasn't even an interview. He was just hanging out with the boys. He was in he turned his hat backward because we had the hat backwards. We got to see his greasy hair, all that stuff. Just hanging out.
I love it. Hey, props to Moose, and Marc Carig's going to join us in a couple minutes. Let's get to our BetMGM locks. Let's backtrack for a sec. Todd Father wasn't with us yesterday. Brock Holt, our guest host yesterday, part of the roster. Little Dodgers Cubs run line 11 is crazy. He was right. It went under, banged that. I got a little Mets money line. We did okay. They built up a nice lead. Giants came back. Mets offense looks good right now. And then that's the problem, Kratzy. I mean, Mets offense took down your run line or your total line alone.
That's crazy. I'm not even
no comment. Just say no comment.
There's no. I gotta have comments. This is what the show's about. And when you're bad, you're bad. So you gotta look in the camera and you gotta say, I need help. I need help from the gambling, 1-800-GAMBLING. It's not working out for me. I need help from my picks. I need all of it. I mean, look at that. Down 757. It's a dang on carrier jet.
Scotty and I we're teetering.
We're neck and neck, Todd Father. Yeah, you got 350. I'm 345. 10-6. You got
very
4
nice,
2.
solid, Scott, solid.
So let's do this because I see you're going the boldest of the bunch today. Your BetMGM locks of the day for a Friday. Todd Father, how you winning some money for us tonight?
Yeah, I want to win more money, so I'm kind of pushing the envelope here a little bit. I know Eric loves to do that. At one, I'm going to do Guardians at -1. I'm going -1.5. I think at +145.
Yep.
I think I bet 200 to win 290. So a simple $200 bet to make almost half your money, more than half your money back there. So let's see what the Guardians got today. Good luck. Let's go. Show me something.
Yeah, taking on the Marlins. They're at home, and so you got the run line. You need 2+ on the win. All right, Kratz, you're gonna be best for last, so I'll go. I got a little Seattle money line tonight, -135. I'm a big George Kirby guy. Think the offense is going to click again tonight.
Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, sorry for picking the Mariners and Kirby. Kirby's got nasty stuff. His sweeper's ridiculous. He spots up. He's in the zone. And I think he's going to outduel the Cardinals this evening. Cardinals have been in a little bit of a rough spot. I haven't loved their pitching, so I think he wins this battle.
To Ryan when we had him on. You should have told him your pick.
Obviously. You know what's funny? So I was going to pick Philly's run line tonight, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that because Moose is coming on. And then I picked the Mariners money line, and I totally forgot that Ryan Helsley's our other guest. So I just can't stop fading our guests. So I'm fading Steven Matz tonight. That's my money line pick. Okay.
All right.
Or we have so many guests that it's hard. We wouldn't be able to gamble if we didn't have so many absolute boss guests. So
true that.
Yeah, you can't please everybody. But my thing is, I was looking at that Phillies run line, but it's 2.5. You bought it at 2.5 too, or you were gonna buy it at 2.5, and that seems steep for me, coming from the guy who's 5-11. But anyway, I'm all about the $200 bets, and I've had to get it down to 100, or else BetMGM is going to come to my house. But I'm down. I put down $100 on the run line for the Rangers over the A's at -1.5, so I can get a solid 200 out of it. No, it's 2 for 2. It's plus, yeah. It's just plus 100, so I'm gonna get 100 out of it, and I feel like I'm back on the train here. I felt this for the last 2 weeks, and I've got one win in the last 2 weeks. It's not been good, but let's go. Yeah, push ahead.
And let's help them on a Nerfy Friday, too. So here's how to get the offer in 3 easy steps. You opt into the promotion on the app for BetMGM. You place a no-run first inning bet on any MLB game. You bet no on the question of, will there be a run in the first inning? If your bet loses, but only one run is scored during that first inning, you receive a bonus bet back, equaling your stake up to $25. And the bonus bet will be reflected once that wager is settled. It's only for Fridays. It's Nerfy Fridays. Make sure to read the full terms and conditions of the promotion before participating. Always bet responsibly. Gambling problem or concern, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And lastly, before we bring in our next guest, I need Nerfy picks. I'll go first. I'm at -120 for no runs first inning with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I actually think we might hold up. We might hold true tonight with no runs in that first, because I was looking at that game as a potential under. So I'll go nothing in the opening frame. Todd Father, what do you got? Are you picking on your own game?
That's funny that you bring that up. I'm still going back and forth on it right now. I'll stick with it. Cleveland and Miami, no runs scored, and then a big 5th inning for the Cleveland Guardians.
There you go. And you got Garrett against Plesac in that first inning. So, All right, Kratzy, what do you got?
Well, if you want some runs scored, just go ahead and fade my pick. So I'm going St. Louis-Seattle game. I just feel like St. Louis is going out there. It's just a long, like we talked to Helsley. My guy woke up at St. Louis time out in Seattle. So I feel like I am on the same train as Brawny. Man, I love George Kirby. I think he's going to be one of the guys that anchors that staff out there, obviously after Castillo, but I think he's one of the guys that's definitely going to be doing something. So I got nothing in the first inning. Let's go.
Boom, there you go. -125. I like that play. And Todd Fathers is -135 for that no-run first inning. So check it out.
Better for me.
Yeah. You got to lay down a little more to back it up. So we'll see what happens. All right. Hang out with us, a little Nerfy Friday action. And let's get back to the guest line right now. Marc Carig from The Athletic joining us, and we are very excited. Ooh, see, I was going to say, to look at the background that he's got, that is the most pro background out
Wow.
there. Wow. Is that at your house?
This is at the lids in my house. There's a Cinnabon down the hall. This is my home office. It's my home office. I can't wear any of this stuff to work, so it's
You
got to
go
stay
get me one
somewhere.
of them Cinnabons.
Yeah.
Listen.
You want one? I get one right now. They're fresh out the oven.
What about Annie Ann's? Can I get an Annie Ann's? Because they always smell so good when I come up the escalator.
They're closed. They're behind the earring kiosk.
Oh, man.
I can't get to
The
them.
$20 piercings.
Look at this guy's background. I love
That is
it,
awesome.
man.
I
Hey,
love it.
hold on real quick. Is there an Oakland A's hat back there or no?
Dude, there's like freaking 20 of them back here.
Yeah,
man.
man. Let's
Come on,
talk
look at
about
the top
those
row.
Oakland
Look at that.
Wow. Oh, they're up
Yeah.
top. All right, I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but
and
just not even all of them. So, we got a few.
Boy.
pour one out for the Oakland A's. Let's get right to it. So you just wrote about them, article in The Athletic. We've all been all over this whole situation, Marc, because we don't have to hold back and get restricted from anyone on a show like this. So how pissed off are you for fans about the process that just went down over the last few years, the A's ownership quiet quitting so that they can move and make more money in Vegas?
Yeah, that's the thing I'm most pissed off about, honestly. It's, I think anybody that's paying attention to this, there's a lot of reasons why these things happen, okay? Teams move. It's oftentimes about money. It's business. We got all that. We're all grown-ups. What I think they did not have to do was spend the last, 5, 10, 15 years making the team unwatchable whenever they could, making the experience terrible so that everybody that tunes into the game sees the seats are empty, and then these people can go say, well, this is why we're moving. People don't come to these games. It's disingenuous. It's wrong. It's a false narrative. And I know this because having grown up there was one period of time in basically Oakland A's history where they did everything you're supposed to do, invested in the stadium, built a great team, spent the money to bring in awesome players. And guess what happened? You're the top in attendance in the American League every year. They're winning pennants, it felt like, every year. Won a World Series. And, built a team that's remembered to this day. I mean, I'm looking at a Bash Brothers poster right now. There's nobody that watches baseball that needs any explanation of who the Bash Brothers are, what they did, all that stuff. And that is a time period I'm talking about. So I can't hear this narrative of, well, they got to move because the fans don't show up. Like they're blaming the fans for this. It's nonsense. It's not fair to them. All right. Like they wanted to move to Vegas because they're going to get a better deal there. All right. That's pretty straightforward. But don't pin this on the fans. It ain't right.
Yeah, like you said before, the main reason why they're moving, they're getting a better deal. That's obvious. They're going to Las Vegas. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, it's just something that's just toppling. And for me, what I read and all what you were writing out, did they really increase the ticket prices? Like, was that like a big to-do?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like and look, Todd, I've covered baseball since 2008. Here's the one thing I learned right away. Like the game is incredibly difficult, so I really don't like, talking about guys that are struggling when it's a hard game to play. This is a 3-win baseball team right now. All right. And they were built to do exactly this. All right. You got a bunch of people who are kind of feeling their way through. They're younger players. Sometimes they don't throw strikes. They're not going to be able to adjust when they get into a skid because they're learning on the job. Well, they were put in position to do this. So what do you think is going to happen, right? Like they're not going to win a lot of games this year. And then they had the audacity to raise ticket prices. So not only did they gut the team roster, to the point where it wasn't going to be competitive, but then they increased the price for the privilege of going to go watch it. And it's it's so transparent, you guys, like this. And my thing is really, did you really need to do that? Did they really have to go into full tank mode? Because I think, logically speaking, Las Vegas is a growing city. The Bay Area has 2 teams. Historically, it probably shouldn't have had 2 teams to begin with. Okay. There's a pretty decent argument to be made there. So you didn't have to go all in like this and torch the place and basically blame the fan base on the way out the door. But that's what they did. They decided we're not going to leave anything to chance. Let's go full major league, except without any of the fun. All right. And without any of the unexpected winning. All right. Like that. And that's a hard one because I think, again, I'm biased, man. I grew up there. I know that there are A's fans. I know there's a lot of them, and I know they care a lot. But when you've been kind of pissed on for all these years, what do you think is going to happen? Why would they keep coming to the park? And yeah, Todd, they raised the prices ahead of this season. It's just, hard. It's hard to watch. And like, I don't like when people that don't know the area, that haven't been to the park, that don't know the history, say things like, well, look at this. You got 10 people in the stands. Of course they moved. All right. Why are there 10 people in the stands? It's not because these people don't care. That's my point. Okay. It's because they were made not to care. And it's just not fair to blame them for this situation at all.
Do you think anything like this could have happened on the East Coast, or do you feel like because there was already a team in the city, or because there just wasn't enough coverage? Because this is, like you said, this wasn't just like, oh, wow, I didn't know the A's were going to move. Like, they've been doing this. They were trying to do this a long time ago, even when Grant Belfour was coming in and, everybody was going ham in the stands. Like, could this have happened in the East Coast, or is it just something that happened out there?
Yeah, like I think this is such a unique situation, right? Because it's, the Bay Area isn't like New York. So it's not like this big giant place where it makes perfect sense to have two clubs. So I think that's already by itself sort of an odd situation. And like, even when the A's were going good, right? The Giants were there before they got there. So like the A's have kind of been that second team, sort of what you get with the White Sox in Chicago and the Angels in LA, and it used to be this way, but the Mets in New York, right? So there's always been that sort of that number one, number two situation. I think where it changes is that I'm not sure that on the East Coast that there'd be too much attention paid if like some team out here tried to do that, if that makes sense. Like if the Mets decided, we're just going to stop trying. Like, I think there'd be an issue, right? Like, there's just too many people paying attention to it and getting loud about it. And that has to do with just the fact that New York is a bigger place. And its history with baseball is like goes a lot further back. So I think, that's an interesting point. It's a little bit different. Now look, I'm born and raised on the West Coast. I made my professional career on the East Coast. It's kind of weird. The thing I kind of resent about folks out here talking about West Coast baseball fans is, it's different, but like, that doesn't mean they don't care. It is different though. All right. And some of it is just history, numbers, like the cities are bigger here in a lot of cases. So it's really mostly that kind of thing, but don't confuse that with not caring. Ask a Dodger fan that's watching every night. Those folks care too.
Hey, so I want to lay a couple things out there over the past 24 hours that we heard. One is Marc Davis, the Raiders owner, who said they don't play nice in the sandbox. So this is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. He said, quote, "I won't forget what they did to us in Oakland. They squatted on a lease for 10 years and made it impossible for us to build on that stadium." Then another quote, "They marketed the team as rooted in Oakland. That's been their mantra through the whole thing. The slogans they've been using have been a slap to the face of the Raiders, and they were trying to win over that type of mentality in the Bay Area. Well, all they did was fuck the Bay Area." And then there's one more here. So the mayor had some really strong words about how this all went down and how they're trying to use Oakland as leverage even with Vegas too. I mean, hey, let's be real. The A's ownership has been terrible for a long time. Even during COVID, they were like the only ones trying not to pay the minor league players. The dude's literally a billionaire. So I think we have the sound too from the mayor.
Become clear that we are not able to reach an acceptable terms, and that the A's have not been engaged as good partners in these efforts. At every opportunity, the A's have made increasing demands on Oakland. And at every opportunity, we have risen to the challenge and overcome the hurdles placed before us. Instead of working with us, they have announced a land deal in another city. And I want to be very clear. This announcement happened mid-negotiations, and it shows that they had no interest in reaching a deal with Oakland at all. Oakland is not interested in being used as leverage in the A's negotiations with Las Vegas. And it is disrespectful to our residents and our fans to string the city along this way. We will not continue discussions under these circumstances and will instead work for a development deal that actually creates opportunities for Oaklanders and includes partners that are committed to the success of our city, our communities, our residents, and our businesses. Thank you.
What do you think of those words and what Mark Davis said?
Well, when people are fighting over large sums of money, it tends to get a little bit messy. And that's what this is. Like, so, this is part cover your ass. This is part kicking people when they're down. That's what the Mark Davis quote is. Like, he obviously is still pissed off about how it went down. And so, the body ain't even cold yet. And he's over here taking jabs at it. And like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, you've harbored a grudge. I think it's funny for someone like, oversees a team that moved out of Oakland twice to talk about rooted in Oakland like it's ridiculous. That's pretty rich. All right. That's pretty rich. But like, listening to the mayor there, like the back and forth, look, this is par for the course. And I don't even think she's totally wrong. Of course, there's a leverage aspect to this. And it is important to note that even with Las Vegas, hey, that deal's not all the way done yet either. All right. There are still hurdles to clear, and they've got a time restriction to clear them in. So, this is like a horse race, hold all tickets, not official yet. It's probably going to happen, but it's still not totally done. Right. Like this is a baseball show. There's a reason they say pending physical. And that's the phase that this deal is in right now. All right. It's pending physical. Probably going to happen. We've also seen where it hasn't. All right. So look, the mayor of Oakland in this case, I think is, calling the A's bluff. That's what this is. All right. She's going to frame it as it's leverage. She's right. Well, she isn't groveling back to the table. That's the message she's sending. We will see how it plays out. But, I think they're as good as, out the door unless something crazy happens. But boy, how fun would that be if they blow this deal in Vegas? That's when it gets real interesting. All right. If we're rooting for chaos, there it is, boys. Right there.
That would
bag
definitely
fell.
be,
what do we do?
that would definitely be something if it goes back and forth. Hey, we're coming back. Hey, we're going. Then you'd have to come back on and we go over again. My last question towards it: have you heard from any like older guys that played there, like a Ricky Henderson or a Mark McGuire, anybody that has played in Oakland that expressed their feelings about it? Have we heard from anybody like that?
Yeah, Dave Stewart gave an interview to The Athletic today, of course, right? Like legendary pitcher, 4 straight, years where he wins 20 games. Like, a key part of these, some of the best A's teams ever. The other thing about Dave Stewart, he's from Oakland, all right? Like he's a local guy. And, he was sharing memories of being at the ballpark as a kid, going there for his birthday, kind of seeing all this weird zany stuff that Charlie Finley used to do to entertain fans and some of the great players that would pass through town. And, the thing that struck me was like, and this is, again, a guy that understands the baseball business. Obviously, he's helping to lead an expansion effort in Nashville, like accomplished pitcher, was an agent, worked in front offices, ran front offices. I mean, Dave Stewart's done pretty much everything there is to do in the game. And here he is being sad about the fact that like he can't believe all of that's going to be gone. All those memories, all that history, all the things that happened in Oakland. It's almost like it's just going to get blotted out. So that was pretty powerful. If you haven't seen it, it's on The Athletic now. Like, again, he talked about expansion and all that stuff, but also, yeah, just being kind of a kid from that area. And like, it's hard for him to wrap his mind around this. And, I heard that from various people in baseball yesterday too, just after all this went down, like expressing similar thoughts, folks with connections to the area, folks with connections to the team, same kind of thing. Just sort of like this, it's hard to believe that it's happening, even though I think a lot of people saw the writing on the wall for a really long time.
If there's any good in this world, every single city will just say, nope, sorry, doors closed until there's a different ownership group. Because you can't force an owner to sell, but if no one wants him in their city and he has to stay in Oakland, he will sell the team. That would be so cool. That I am rooting for that chaos with you.
Look, this is why I get, what I wrote yesterday, like was, I didn't expect to write that yesterday. You guys have all been involved in baseball your whole lives, right? I've been covering sports since 2008. I didn't think it was possible for me to still be this mad about it, to be honest with you. Like to still feel like, damn, that's messed up. And like, that's what I felt yesterday. And it's because like you've got this owner in John Fisher who has been notoriously bad at being a steward for the team. To have the audacity to try to pin any kind of blame at all on attendance, on fans, on their devotion to the team, it's bullshit. It's wrong. And like somebody had to say that. All right. Like It's just, someone has to say, hey man, you might be the billionaire. You might call all the shots. You are still wrong. These people that supported the team for all those years that stopped coming because you basically made them stop coming. Don't kick him on the way out the door too, man. Go get your bag. Go get your money. It's business. We get it. But you don't have to slander the fans on the way out. You just don't have to do that.
It's a great call. We commend you. It's elitist bullshit from John, and we've been all over him too. I mean, dude should not be in the game at all. And anyone that thinks otherwise is freaking lying, and they're getting paid by him. So, Marc, great to have you, man. Yeah. Appreciate it. It needed to be said. Thanks for coming on, dude. We'd love to have you back sometime. This was great. Thank you. Appreciate you. Marc Carig from The Athletic, and you can check out that article. It's great. I mean, we saw it right away, and we were like, we got to get Marc on. So we're going to swing it in just a sec, right back to our next guest. Can we run slap hands for it? Okay, so I'm kind of calling out what we're doing, calling the shots here, and Gab's just crushing it behind the scenes, getting us from shot to shot. So Sheffield Shuffler, we're going to get a little guest. His name's Pete. He runs a great show and some great accounts on social. He's going to ask you guys some questions for the last 10 minutes of the show. The one thing while he's probably getting checked in is I wanted to see if we can show this little David Wright clip from the New York Mets before we bring him in. Or is he ready? Should we do that second? Okay, let's bring him in. Yeah. So Pete from Sheffield Shuffler joining us right now. Great to have you. We got some people in the YouTube chat right now that are like, let's go. Where's Pete? 5 minutes late, but that's actually good for us. How you doing, Pete?
Good. I brought a crew, boys. I told you we're gonna bring some traffic to the page. We got Friday. It's a good day.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the shirt too. That's a Friday shirt. Weather's getting a little warm. I like it. So first off, I'll hand it to you to ask these guys what you wanted to ask them, and then we'll mix in some questions that you got from your fan base.
Sure, absolutely. So one thing that we talk about a lot is MLB's marketing, right? A lot of us as fans, we believe MLB has a marketing problem, right? Okay. You see Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes goes to a Walmart anywhere in the country, people are going to say, oh my God, it's Pat Mahomes. It's Pat Mahomes. You can do that, anywhere in the country. Aaron Rodgers. Nobody would know if Nolan Arenado, even Shohei Machado is anywhere outside of their city doing kind of shopping. Nobody would recognize them. Why is that? How and how do we fix it? And we have some ideas on how to fix that. And I want to get your guys' take on it. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
So last year, Edwin Diaz had an entrance, right? And there was one game where they didn't cut to commercial break. They followed him. He came out from the bullpen and the doors opened up and you saw Citi Field and Timmy trumpets. Burp, 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 and it was like cinematic almost. So people watching from home were like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Why is this guy get his own song? The whole thing is to like invest and be interested in players. If people don't know about these players, their stories, things like that, nobody's going to care, right? So that's one idea I saw last season that was like, that is a great idea. Don't cut to commercial. It's the bottom of the ninth and he's coming in to make a save. Let that play. It's almost like let it breathe. Because in other sports we see, who Tom Brady's dating. We know what drugs Aaron Rodgers is doing. Lamar Jackson's contract issues. So not trying to blow smoke up your butts here, but that's why this show is the future of MLB media, because you get that unfiltered personal take on players, the guys that you watch, and get to learn who they are as a person, what makes them tick, advice for young athletes. And that's why I think this show is very special.
Pete, repeat, Pete, repeat. Just keep it going. Just clip that, please. Our social media needs to clip that because that is hot.
I got tons more, guys. How about this? How about Liam Hendricks just kicked cancer's ass, right? He's one of the best closers in baseball. Unless you follow baseball closely, you probably don't know that. He was third in saves last season, a career high of 38 saves the season before that. Can you imagine if a running back, Delvin Cook or, premier running back had cancer and then beats it? That would be all over everywhere. Those stories need to be celebrated. That needs to be shared around the game. Like, this is something awesome. He's a tough Aussie. He's a personality. That's something that you can build around. And those are the kind of things that we want to see. Last thing would be, I want to know how you guys feel about this, because you guys were obviously playing the game, but more day games, right? I can't watch 9 games at 7:05, right? But if they're spread out, 12, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, I can watch a game during noon. Everybody works from home nowadays, guys. Everybody's not going to the office, so it is possible to have day games. So I just wanted to get your guys' take on that.
Pete, now these things are all great, and I agree with you and everything, but it comes down to, it's a money thing, and it comes down to the brass. It comes down to MLB. making this happen and they're not doing it, there's a problem. If they're not making the money, bud, nobody's making the money. And that's the biggest problem we have. We have Mike Trout, who plays in California, which 70% of people don't even get to see play anymore. Well, why don't we make more day games for this guy to play? You know what I mean? So you make some great points. The brass and MLB has to figure that out. But if they're not making money off it, then there's a big problem. So it's a business. It's a big business. And that's the unfortunate part about getting names like those guys out. They're not worried about it. They're worried about, helping each other out instead of, prospering the game a little bit more, for sure. Good call, though, by you.
Thank you. Yes. And then last thing would be like about the rule changes, right? So can we agree that the reason new rules are being implemented is to bring in a new fan base? Is that the idea behind this? That's right?
Yeah.
Essentially,
Okay.
yes. Different demographic.
So my point is, if you didn't watch at 3 hours, you're not watching at 2.5. Okay, we're making these crazy rules. Oh, he's gonna pinch run, but he's got to pitch for 5 innings. Like, who cares if you don't watch baseball? You don't care about it, do you? You the biggest thing is to, I think, create stories and invest in players to make people care about it. You can use their wives. Freddie Freeman's wife has a business. My wife follows her. Oh, now, hey, babe, Freddie Freeman's up. You bought a T-shirt from her wife's store, right? Now people are interested because they know the family. They know the story. Those are the kind of things that the marketing department should elevate to help with, because these rule changes, in my opinion, I don't think are going to bring anybody, because it doesn't do anything. Like I said, if you're not watching at 3 hours, you're not watching at 2.5.
That was one of my gripes. Is I feel like the media, and Scotty, you were part of it, I think pushed this whole time limit thing because they're at the ballpark and they don't want to be there. I'm an incredible baseball fan my entire life. Yes, I got to play, but I'm a huge fan. I didn't care if I was there, but I do understand that the time was getting a little bit, and I wish it wasn't necessarily about the time, and it was more about, hey, let's kill the dead time. Let's kill the dead time, because we need to, like you said, market these players. We need to market it to what people are digesting right now. Is it 11 seconds? Is it 14 seconds? How fast are they digesting it? And it'll bring people in. It will, and I know it will. But I'm on your side of the sense that there's so much more to sell a player. There's so much more to connect with somebody. Like, think about how much people watched F1 racing before the Netflix documentaries.
Sure.
So many more people.
Mm-hmm.
MLB, Uncle, let the doors open, let the guys be shown for what they are. Because when you see, not the darker sides, we're not looking for the dark sides. When you see the human element of things, that's it. People connect. I don't connect with Todd because Todd's from New Jersey. I grew up in Philadelphia. Boom. I'm connecting with Chas McCormick, who's playing for the Astros, team I don't even like, but he grew up outside of Philadelphia. He went to Westchester. Like, you followed him around. Oh, that's so sick. I used to go and eat there because that's where, that kind of thing is how I think the game will sell and connect. And I think you are spot on with your comments. And I think your hat is absolutely smashing too, buddy.
I disagree.
No, the hat is smashing.
We can throw that one away, but that's the only problem I got.
Hey, guys,
with you.
I'm in South Philly, so I got it over at the Cherry Hill Mall. So
you came to Jersey to get a Philly hat. We got a problem. Now we got another episode coming out here. You and me, we got to talk. You and me going to Jersey to get that hat.
Where are you at in South Philly? Where are you at in South Philly, Pete?
I am close to Cherry Hill, one of the towns around there. I don't want to give out the town because there's a lot of weirdos on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Hell yeah. There are. Trust me.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that one, but no, I love that. South Philly, southeastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you guys got to bring me out to the studio. I'll bring a couple of Wawa hoagies.
Wait, because we only got 2 minutes left. I want to bite back on one thing. Because I'm with you on the marketing, with you on some of the gimmicky bullshit that they're doing in the Atlantic League is dumb. Here's my one thing. It's not because I don't want to be at the ballpark as long as a media member. I forget the word time. It's pace. Because I grew up watching the game, 90s baseball. it's not that anymore. Like, you can look back and everybody was throwing a pitch within 15, 20 seconds. So if you want to extend the pitch clock a few ticks because it's bothering someone, or also, of course, if Cody Bellinger or someone's coming up, they shouldn't have to write this permission slip to MLB and give him an extra, whatever amount of time he needs to get an ovation. But I do think players were getting so slow. Not everyone, but there were way too many, especially relievers, coming into a game, and I would sit down with my family and go, ready, let's play. 1, 2, and we get to like 45 frequently. That is too long between pitches in my mind. That was the problem I had. I just want action. You don't need to change the game. The rules are still the same. So for me, it's not about, 3 hours versus 2.5. It was just every time there was a pitch thrown the last 4 or 5 years by 80% of the pitchers in the league, I could go to my phone and watch 4 TikToks and then come back up. Watch Kratz go viral on TikTok, come back up. That was my problem that I think we're solving.
And that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm cool with killing dead time, but I was lied to because I said the game would not be changed because of these rules. And now people are getting strikes because he didn't look up just fast enough at the pitcher to address him at 7 seconds. Now you're affecting the game. I don't want to see that in October. I want to play the game just like the World Baseball Classic. None of those rules were implemented. And look how many people watched because it was a beautiful, beautiful series. So when it starts affecting the game and now you've got a strike already and now you got a ball, that's where I have a problem. That's fine. Kill the dead time. But when you start affecting the game, I don't like that.
No, I feel you. And I think guys will adjust and you'll have less of that. And if they need to move it up a couple ticks for that to all make sense, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if they called the rules committee, which has players on it, to actually talk through things with them. But what Merrifield told us, no one calls them. So, hey, sure. Pete, this was great, man. We're out of time. We hit 3. We all got to go live our lives, but really appreciate you coming on and telling us what you got going on, man.
Yeah, I mean, just follow me on my socials. I make cool content. I do it for a living. So I'm living the dream. Feel free to have me back on anytime. That Wawa sandwich or the hoagie is still on the table. So hopefully I will talk to you guys sometime soon.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, we'll definitely have you back. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
All right, and that's it. Top Father, Kratzy. We're going to play a little music and get you out of here on a Friday. Let's win our bets tonight, please.
Come on.
All of us. Let's get a clean sweep. Come on, one time.
I got to get my 6:30 game going. I got to work on my signals.
You look like you're in prime form, and you're a Yes Network superstar now too. I mean, you got it all on this week.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
he's a suitman. He's got his three-piece suit on.
Yeah,
he's a suitman.
Great job, man.
He's living 2 lives. He's living 2 good lives right now. He's got the suit, and he's got the chill sweatshirt and a little.
What hat Scratch got on right there? We
got shoot.
Got it real quick. It's a little July 4th. Columbus Clippers, ring your bells. They're not afraid. A little small ballpark. Louisville Bats coming in. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Yeah. Enjoy the crap out of it.
And foulterritoryshop.com if you want one of these, okay? They look better on you than they will on me. So that's my Krat tats. We'll see you Monday.